Hello, this is Maggie. I haven't made a video in quite some time, but we do. I'm going to look at the chart of the day just randomly. And we do have a lunar eclipse coming September 7th and a solar eclipse. Oh, the lunar will be in Pisces and the solar eclipse will be in Virgo. So those are the oppositions. So I'm just going to look at the chart today. On time passages, I'll share my screen and this should be the chart of the day. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. So as you can see, we have the sun, 12 degrees, Virgo, we have a stellium in Virgo, Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, and also the ruler of Gemini is 4 degrees. So when the solar eclipse is there, and the south node is in Virgo as well. And the opposition is Pisces. So I like to look at the natural chart. This chart is different, but anyway. So then, yeah, you can see the north node is 18 degrees and the south node is 18 degrees. So I like to, when I look at a chart, I love to just look at a lot of different things. For one, I'm really into transits, so I'll look at the general, sacred geometry and see, like, look at the flowing blue lines for trines and the green sextile 60-degree aspects for opportunity and a way through. And of course, I love to look at the elements as well. So we have 5 in Earth. Well, this particular chart only just happens to have Capricorn rising, but whatever sign you are, you know, it will look different in your chart. So 5 in Earth, 6 in air. We have incredible air going on, especially with Moon, Pluto, and Aquarius. There's so many new inventions and imaginations and things going on emotionally with groups of people every single day, and minute and hour. So a lot going on in that. And Pluto's transformation, it's a transformative healing power. I don't know that it's healing after all the chaos and tumult and tearing down and destroying structures and groups. And a good example of that would be trying to get humanitarian aid into war-torn countries or and having difficulty doing it, and the explosions. And so people being blocked, that almost sounds Satyrian, being blocked and doing that. So the element 6 in air, we have a lot of air. The air is well, the Virgo, of course, is all the Virgo stuff is Earth. The air is Uranus and Gemini. So we're seeing so many changes with AI and drones and the way we learn. But Neptune is the one. Excuse me. Neptune, where's Neptune? Well, the strongest is air, 7 cardinal, 4 fixed, and 5 mutable. So I also like to look at the modalities, you know. Um, the cardinal is action, fixed is, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. So we do have 2 in fixed, and people are digging in. They're so rigid, very rigid with their opinions and their belief systems. And there's just no budging with some people. So Neptune, although it's in Aries, it's only 1 degrees Aries. It is retrograde back into, I'd rather look at the natural wheel. As an Aries, I can tell you how I feel with an Aries ascendant, with the Saturn Neptune conjunction. Um, although it's in Aries, it still has been in my 12th house, and the 12th house is Pisces. And so Neptune retrograding back into Pisces is, although it's, it's technically in Aries, it's at the very, very early degree. And so a lot of people are just overwhelmed by um, all these false narratives that some of them are just retreating into their shells, or they're creating their own images and narratives and buying into a lot of crazy, crazy illusions. Neptune is the master of illusion, deception, um, seeing through the veil. You can't see through the veil, especially in Pisces. It's very nebulous, very nebulous. And so it's hard to see. You can't really see the truth. There's just so many illusions out there that it's really hard to get to the truth. So Moon Pluto is very, very extremely, extremely powerful groups. I mean, groups of people coming out and protesting. That is so Moon Pluto. It really is Moon Pluto. People standing up for equality and humanity. Aquarius is a sign of the humanitarian, you know, equality and groups and, friendships. And so Moon Pluto is, yeah, it could also be anarchy, just believing so, because it's a fixed sign, believing so strongly in something that, that they could stand up and, not all protests are violent. There's a lot of civil disobedience going on because people do need to speak up because actually they're not being heard. But so Moon Pluto just kind of spurs them on to stand up, and people are standing up. Moon is 6 degrees Aquarius in this. Yeah, so it's a pretty tight conjunction. Um, so we're in the shadow of the eclipse right now, and with Neptune retrograding back into Pisces, it's still, for me, it's a very 12th house Piscean feel. It has been for years actually, since Neptune, Neptune and Saturn have been in Pisces. It's a lot of people are probably saying, what's wrong with me? Why don't I go out as much as I used to? Or what. And it's just the Piscean need to sort of isolate, and and just kind of be a mystic or a hermit. It's like they're content in their own little world, and not always, of course, but the need to escape. And Neptune is certainly escapism. So you want to use your escapism try to use it in a positive way. A lot of new memes and songs and music and art is coming out, and that's a really good way to use this time. I've been meaning to pick up a paintbrush, but that's as far as I get. I haven't really done that, but yeah. So the North Node is still in Pisces. Neptune is 1 degree Aries, retrograding back into Pisces. So it's really flavored Piscean, although there are only 2 planets in water. You look at the houses they're in, like for you, maybe it's in your 12th house. And so because Neptune is the ruler of the 12th house, it's very, very strong, very, very strong when your ruler is in there. And then you would look to Jupiter as well. And there's Jupiter, board 18 degrees Cancer. So For me, it would be on the IC in the fourth house. Uh, yeah, so this is just kind of an overview. I don't want to go on a lot about this. So Virgo, Virgo, if you're procrastinating about maybe vacuuming or some, cleaning, or now's the time when you don't mind so much. I actually broke out the vacuum and got it over with because I had been procrastinating for a long time, and and just the moon in Cancer, the moon in Virgo wasn't doing it for me, but seeing the stellium in there, I guess it kind of motivated me a bit to break out of the lethargy of the 12th house, the Saturn Neptune conjunction, um, and do some work, do some work. And yeah, so 7 cardinal, 4 fixed, and 5 mutable, a lot of mutable energy. So I'll try to do another one on the eclipses. And yeah, just sorry I've been away for so long, but this is it's a beautiful chart of the day. It really is. It's beautiful. The trines and sextiles are dominant. Yes, there's a few squares, but you need squares to motivate and break through and do something. If we didn't have squares and oppositions, we wouldn't evolve, we'd all just be slugs. So they're a good thing. If you look at your chart and go, oh my God, it's all squares and oppositions, that just means that you've got some work to do in this lifetime, and you're evolving and growing, and maybe it's not all easy peasy. Somebody with all trines and sextiles, maybe that's maybe that's their reward for having done the work. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this. If you do, please like and subscribe. And I truly am so sorry. I just have kind of put this channel on hold for a long time. But yeah, anyway, everyone, please take care. And if you like this channel, please like, subscribe, and share. And again, I'm sorry I haven't really been contributing to this channel, but I'll try to at least put something up there once in a while, do the eclipses or major events or something. And try to stay out of politics because it's certainly divisive enough.